Hi, everybody. How are you doing out there? I'm your lovely Lady Mandalore. I'm going to stop touching my face. I hope you guys had a great weekend. The weather was hot as shit. At least up here in the Northeast, it was quite weird. Wasn't feeling it quite that much. I very much hibernated indoors, only going out to forage for food and such for a short amount of time. But welcome to a room full of Blerds. I hope that you guys will sit with us for a little while, get to know one another, chit chat and whatnot. Tonight, though, we do have a special returning guest. She is the founder of Women in Comics Collective. She is also a 2026 Eisner Award judge, among many other things, a Bob Clampett Award winner as well. And I'm just going to let her come on here and talk about herself. Miss Regine Sawyer. Hi. I'll give you claps. How are you, dear?
Well, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm goddamn tabulous. Oh, brother. You look very well. See, we were talking behind the scenes. You do actually look very glowy. The skin is skinning. It is giving melanated, hydrated, and sun appropriately.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. I kind of want to just get into it, dude.
Sure.
You just came back from, well, not just, but just came back from your weekend at San Diego Comic-Con. And it was kind of a first for you with the awards, with the Eisners. Was it your first time? It wasn't your first time with a booth at San Diego. Okay.
I think this is our 9th year having a booth.
Oh, wow.
So next year will be 10 years.
Wow. We're definitely going to get into that aspect because you are also an indie comic creator, and I want to get a feel of how it feels to be out there now versus almost 10 years ago. Give me the goods on the Eisner Awards. Oh my God. I was living through I'm sorry. I'm very much on the mic. I was living for your lives. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what she's going to show, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen. It's the only way that I can be at San Diego without having a full-blown panic attack.
Understood.
Yeah. How was it for you this year being part of the I guess the accoutrements with the
I mean this is my second time going to the Eisners. Full disclosure, wink, we always have a party during the Eisners. Like we literally have a party downstairs.
Oh.
Which you're really not supposed to do, right?
Well, then it never happened. So all this stuff that you're saying, it never happened. What are you talking about? It's just a gathering of people and there's music, maybe some drinks in a basement somewhere. Who knows?
Really, you're not supposed to do that. But we specifically do it because in the past a lot of folks just didn't feel comfortable going because people felt like it was a very white event.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. When you said we, I thought it was the royal we and not us folk.
No, and honestly, it's like I'm not saying anything that's shocking.
No.
And I've this is something that I've said to to some of the folks at San Diego Comic-Con, like, because they know that I have this party and like, Regine, can you please not do it at the Eisners? And I said, well, some folks just don't feel comfortable coming to the ceremony. Some folks didn't know that they could attend the ceremony. There was that too. But white in the sense of not being seen as like nominees stuff, as well as the environment in general. So folks didn't feel like, okay, like I don't belong. And we're talking about black comic book creators, brown comic book creators, just melanated in general comic book creators.
Yeah.
And so we always wanted to have a place for them to be. Like, okay, if you feel comfortable going upstairs, You can hang out and chill with us. There's a space called the Pool Club at the Hilton Hotel, Bayfront Hotel, where they have the Eisners. And so we would just be downstairs at the pool, eating, drinking, chit-chatting. I would keep people, a few of us would keep folks abreast of who was winning. Like I was like, okay, so and so won. That person was like, literally, I'm sitting in a beach chair, almost practically, like just say, okay, so and so won. So because God bless Heidi from the Beat. Heidi from the Beat always like on social media posts who's won. So that's what I would do. And so also at one point the ceremony would go so long that people from upstairs who were in the ceremony would come down to the party.
Because they're sitting there waiting and watching, and it's
yeah.
It's really like the Oscars. You're sitting there like
all day,
and you're hungry.
And I mean, they recently shortened the ceremony by simply taking some of the awards and doing like a separate thing for them during Comic-Con, but not at the ceremony. And it's shaved off about 2 hours because the event was like 5 hours long.
God damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
But we've always wanted folks to have a place to come to, and so we started doing that officially. I think when we came back from the pandemic, is when we started doing that officially.
Okay.
And even last year, the pool club wasn't available, but they have like a balcony that's attached to a bar. There's like several balconies attached to a bar right outside of the ballroom where it takes place. And so we took over a balcony. We did a New York snatch and grab. We like this ours. And folks would come out from the Eisners and sit out with us
and be real.
And be real. I mean, there were a few folks who came out because they were disappointed because they didn't win and they just want to be around family. Yeah, so that's what Wink is about. We're family in that sense. So we always want to have that. So this is only the second time I've ever attended. So the first time was when we got the Bob Clamp Humanitarian Award. So that was the first time. So this is the second time attending the ceremony.
Okay. So how about the winners?
I mean, well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The day before, unfortunately, the winners were announced early, and I'm saying that nicely.
I know you lying.
I'm not lying. No.
Was this okay? Wait. Are you allowed to give tea? Because I'm gonna ask.
Well, no. I mean, it was out in the open. This is not any type of secret. Okay. I mean,
it didn't come across my feed as a leak.
No, like it was outed. Somehow, some way, it was posted on the Eisner website too early. And it was up there for a few minutes. Somebody saw it, posted the winners on Reddit.
What?
And it took a while to get to social media. It took a little bit. It took a few hours because someone finally did some type of article. Some website did an article and said, "Hey, like the nominees were accidentally posted early, supposedly. We're not sure if this is real or not, but this is what it is." Because I got a text message from a journalist. Said, "Hey Regine, like this is up," and sent me the article, and I said, "Well, first of all, I'm not reading it because I'm angry and I really don't even want to know. I don't want to know. But I'm going to forward this to the Eisner folks, and they were aware that this had happened. I'm not too happy. It was very upsetting that this happened. I mean, that Thursday, I mean, the couple people that I spoke to about it, because I think at that point, like once the evening hit, some people started to realize it. But I spoke with another judge, and she was just like, Regine, I did read it, and I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed in if that is the real, if that's the realist, I'm disappointed. Because, not because that whoever won didn't deserve to win, because we did nominate them. That's first and foremost.
Yeah.
But two, because we had such a variety of people that were nominated that normally are very much overlooked. And those are the melanated creators. Those are like the queer creators. So for her, she was just like, to see it be like the status quo was disappointing. So I waited until I was there at the Eisners to see who won. And again, like we nominated all those folks. So in that way, it's like, who won. But in terms of how people voted, I mean, in a lot of ways, it wasn't a shock.
It's not, but I'm tired of feeling that way of having your expectations met.
Yeah. And we get, like, I mean, I've been voting in the Eisners for a while. Like, a lot half the time, to be honest with you, and I've talked about this to other people, I don't know half the people that are on there. I'm like, who is this? And I may not take the time to like read the book or what have you. But there are times where, I mean, I definitely have voted and been like, well, I do know this book. I know this person. I'm going to vote for that person. And, that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that oftentimes that's the default setting for folks. It's like, well, I know this name.
I know this
person. I know that person. Oh, I did read that book. I didn't read the others, but I read this book, and I'm just going to, well, that person is famous. And again, like I said, all the folks that were nominated, the people that won, we put them there.
Right. Like, it's not like there's favoritism or anything. It's like, it's not the end result of
we gave people the choices. It was up to them to make the choice. And after the discussions about how historic this Eisner was, this Eisner season was, it really just gives me pause in terms of just looking at the community.
Yeah.
Because even if it is like I'm just voting for my friend type of thing.
Yeah.
Or I know this name.
Particular, right. Yeah, I've seen ad nauseum throughout.
Yeah. Exactly. There were definitely some that I was like, oh yeah, like that was the book that I like. Yeah. But it just that part gives me pause. But what I will say, I'll say a couple of things.
Okay.
Is that this just means, we gotta keep doing what we're doing. If you're going to be a judge, take my example.
Yeah.
Take the example of the other judges. If you are interested in voting and you are eligible to vote, vote. And also, read some of the books. You don't got to read all of them, but read some of the books. Check them out. Or some of the books have websites where you can read a few pages.
Yeah, they'll give you excerpts, or there are some really generous creators. They'll give you a PDF. They'll give you an advanced copy or
absolutely. And there may be some things that the Eisners can do to help with that. I'm gonna ask about that. Just so folks can see what they're voting for, right in front of their face, instead of Googling it or what have you. But there's a way to do it. It's already on the ballot. It just hasn't been really activated. So that'll be a discussion. And maybe it'll possibly help. What I was also going to say was, being nominated, I said this the last time I was on here, probably, it is an honor, because we busted our ass to go through those books. like really and truly. We really did. And no book is up there by accident.
Mm-mm.
You know, that it's not a fluke. Like they're up there for a reason. Right. And there were books that I was pushing for, you know, as a judge and also as a colleague. Like, oh, I want that book to win. I want this book to win for a multitude of reasons. Mostly because the books are good, but also because in terms of like being a melanated creator myself, a Black woman specifically, like I need to see more of us win. It's important because we are active members of this community. We are colleagues. We are friends. We are cool. We are great. We have amazing work, and it should be acknowledged.
And as much as I try not to have any kind of ego in anything that I do, but when it comes to us as a collective winning, there's a lot of fucking ego. For those people, for us, there's a value, unfortunately, attached to winning these things. So when you say, oh, we see you over there in that corner, but you don't actually give the accolades fully and like openly, it's a little bit of a slap in the face, especially when you have a first-time double award nominee. Hi, Stephanie. That goes up there, and two whiffs. It's crazy.
This one I want to say to you. You're right, and
okay,
receiving these nominations have changed people's lives.
Oh yeah.
And I know that firsthand by having discussions with them.
Yeah.
There were some folks who were about to leave the industry. There were some folks who hadn't been working for months. And once that nomination came in, all of a sudden they have a flood of work now.
Hearing Stephanie is very reserved, extremely reserved. At least on camera, but seeing her thread posts going out about being, I guess, surprised. I don't want to say it felt like overwhelmed by the amount of doors that, like, to quote her, she didn't even know places she didn't even know had doors that were open for her. Is so incredible. Now, when I say my disappointment in her not winning does not detract at all from the nomination.
No, it doesn't.
Like I said, the nomination, that's a win. That is 1,000% a win.
It doesn't. I just want to let people like you, I want you to know, and I want folks in the chat know, and anyone else who supports creatives such as Stephanie, that the nomination alone has turned people's lives 180 degrees. And that's the main thing that I know I wanted to come out of this. On top of people getting the awards that I believe they deserve.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. Like, I feel like people deserve their awards. They should have gotten it. You know, some of us judges sitting at the table, there were certain announcements and we looked at each other like, who? Like, that absolutely happened. You know, and again, we nominated things, like we believed in all the books, but there were some things that in our minds, especially as folks who were, you know, we suggested different books to people.
Yeah.
And once we got to talking, we're like, yes, this book, I like this book better, but this book is really good. Like, we had our favorites. There were books that were our favorites. And so, yeah, there were a few books that we like, wait, what? You know, for those of us who didn't like look it up and like read the article, like, it's like, really? It was absolutely. But I want to make it clear. That the nominations have opened up not just opportunities, but opportunities like to work, but another opportunity to be nominated for the Eisners.
Yeah, because now you're like, oh, you were on the list either last year or XYZ years ago. It's still like, oh, you've got the potential.
All your books get stickers that say like this book was Eisner nominated.
Yeah.
Like they either get a silver one if you were nominated, or a gold one if you won.
Yeah.
And then some they just print it on the book, and that means so much. Again, it doesn't take away from the fact, so and so should have won. Absolutely not. But it also says so and so going to stay in this industry and keep pushing, as opposed to quitting. Some were going to quit and say deuces until they got that nomination and doors were open for them.
God damn, that I overstand that feeling fully. Fully overstand. It's like I if you're on this grind, on this journey for decades, doing this, and you feel like throwing in the towel. I fully understand that. Understand that. So I
listen. Honestly, full disclosure, 2024 before the nominations, I was on a hiatus for nominations. Like before, when we got that award, that the humanitarian award, I was about to quit creatively comics. I almost quit. I said I had to take a break. I had to take a long break from even like doing any pitches, anything. Even though it was funny, because in the middle of it, someone asked me to do something, and I was like, well, this is one thing, and then it turned into like a multi-tier project, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. But that was like by the time I got to the end of that process of trying to figure out if I was going to stay or not, I was like, well, I guess I'm staying. It was like I was already nominated for this damn award. Like I was nominated, and then they emailed me to let me know I won. Like the Comic-Con committee is like, we want this honor belongs to Wink and Regine Sawyer. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, I guess I'm here. But I was ready to say good night, nurse.
So Kim, all right. So I want to talk about that too, because I think there are a lot of creatives that I see that do get frustrated, that are just starting, and they get frustrated. But I to harp on what you just said, you need to be buckled in for a long haul, Puddin'. You're not going to win every year. You're not going to win every 10 years, potentially. If you want to do this and you have a bug in your soul, you have to cry. Go ahead and cry. You want to quit for an hour? Okay, you can quit for an hour, but I need you. I need you to come back and lock in and sit down. Take a break, take a breather. But it's more, I feel like it's more, if you can find a more fulfilling way instead of it being just the acknowledgement, which I feel like I'm a little bit on my bullshit because I like the acknowledgement too. But to see who you're helping and who you're reaching, that does hit a different, and for me, a better core than getting just the public acknowledgement. And that's me talking to myself as opposed to everybody.
Yes. I mean, listen, and trust me, like, I'm not trying to be like funny or facetious. Like, I got really like emotional letters, emails from folks like, Regine, this changed my life. Like, you don't understand what you did for me. Like, you have no idea. And it makes me emotional, you know what I mean? Because I know what it was like to be like, I ain't doing this shit no more. Nobody wants me to write their comics. Let me get the fuck out of here. Nobody's buying my shit. Like, seriously. It's like, or like the projects that I wanted, it wasn't coming, things weren't coming through, the pipeline. And so I knew what that felt like. And, I know what I want. And I didn't even know, we didn't know what we did. We didn't know that we saved people's careers. We didn't know that. I had to tell the Eisner folks, like, no, you don't understand. Like, we saved people's careers through these
Wait.
through these nominations.
Wait, my eye twitched.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we absolutely did, and opened up new avenues, for them. Because there were some folks who were like, yo, like, I'm about to get me a part-time job, and like, I don't think I can do, I can't do this, or just like, I had a horrible, time during this project, and I was going to quit comics completely, but this happened.
Mm.
So so yeah, I want everybody to get their awards. There's so many folks that I feel like we're due,
Yeah.
and they didn't get them this time around. But the point is, their names are in the ether.
Mm.
They now, maybe believe in the process a bit more. They believe in themselves a bit more, and they're like, well, I'm here, and we got all this work to do now. So let me just do
Lock
it.
in.
And I'm hopeful for next year that a lot of these same individuals that were nominated will get nominated again.
So I was watching one of your other interviews, and you said that judges are only, is it just one time in your lifetime that you're able to
Yeah.
judge the Eisner? God damn. Okay. God damn.
No. But what we
Yeah.
can do is we can refer people. So I'll be referring folks, and they reminded me when I was there, Regine, we want you to refer people every year, because we want to keep this broadening. We want
Okay.
these awards to be more diverse.
Okay.
So now we know it's possible, right? We know it's possible to get more than one nigga nominated, right? Like we know now it's possible, more than one or two or three, right? We know that's possible.
It's not a crab in the barrel situation.
Exactly. We know that we can do that. Now it's up to people who are voting.
So God damn it, I didn't look it up before I started the goddamn show, where you can for the damn awards what the time period is to become a judge. When does that open up again?
It doesn't really open. It doesn't open. You get invited.
Oh, I'm sorry. To vote, not judge, because
vote will probably open, because it depends upon how quickly you're done with the nominations process. Is generally mid-May.
Okay.
It's mid-May to early June.
Is there a limit to the number of voters that they have?
No, you just have to register.
Okay.
You just have to register to vote. And so that's what the process is. So once you register, when the ballot is available, once the ballot is set, you'll get one in your email.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you find out that you are like, what the hell? We talked about it on the show previously.
Yeah, you fill out a form that says, like, what do you do in the industry? You send, there's like a little checkbox says, are you this, that, and a third? Send us your credits. So you send them your website, your page, or what have you. They look at it to verify it.
Okay.
And that's how you get approved.
All right. I'm asking all these questions for a reason, because I feel like if there's more people,
I mean, that's it.
Voting.
A lot of folks don't. That's why the process is now is now much more open, because now the Eisners have an IG account. Yes. They didn't have one until this year. Well, we have a new chairperson.
I wait gently. Wait, I really thought that I just hadn't remembered to follow them. It was this year that they got bro.
Like it was this year, and there's a lot of new things that they're going to do for the upcoming years.
Okay.
It's gonna be a lot more like new innovations. But this year was the opening of that, because we have a brand new person, and she was getting settled in that position. So there were things that were absolutely accomplished, but now more things are going to be accomplished.
That would be wonderful. I would very much like to. Yes, the siren.
It'll be announced. So yeah, follow at Eisner Awards, and that'll be announced on the website. I mean, on the website, on the Instagram.
So I think you said last time you have to be you have to be a creative or public. What is it, published?
You can. I forget. I looked at it earlier this year. You have to, a writer, editor, artist in any way, whether you're a colorist, penciler, inker, if you're a letterer, if you are, I think if you're an educator, I think if you're a librarian, if I'm not mistaken, and I think a journalist, but it depends upon what your outlet is. If I'm not mistaken, it depends upon your outlet. But I could be wrong. But that's roughly, it's mainly our peers.
Okay.
Like who gets to vote.
Okay.
So I'm definitely looking forward to more people voting, because like, yeah, we can still be upset. We can be upset, right, about who didn't win and all that stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm also like, okay, let's make sure that you vote next time. For the people that can do it, make sure you vote next time, or make sure you read the books, because as a person that read those books, I'm just like, yeah, this book was good. Yeah, okay, this book deserved to win, but this book deserved to win too. That book deserved to win. It was totally. And also, I do want to say there were some folks who were nominated, who were melanated, that initially, I mean, they were so happy and they weren't even sure if they could come. I pulled some screen. Well, no one to come, because to get there, to get to the damn San Diego Comic-Con, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah,
it's expensive. So I was just like, listen, if you still want to come, let's get you some badges. So that was great to see, to be able to get some folks some badges that ordinarily they weren't able to come, and for them to be like, okay, this is the process, this is the ceremony. I'm meeting people, I'm networking with people.
Yeah,
I can get me that job that I've been wanting. You know what I'm saying? Or possibly I can get. That was also important to me too, about us being able to be there and chit chat with folks. Be like, yeah, that was my book up there. That was my book that was, that you just saw displayed. Yeah, like I'm available for work.
Yeah. Yeah. Next steps is like, you see what I can do. Would you like?
No, go ahead.
Would you like to have an Eisner nominated anything on
exactly
in your mix, please?
Because that's half the battle. That's half the battle of being in this industry for anyone, is for someone to be like, okay, let me sit down with you, let me see what you got, and let's see, what can, if we can work together. That is half the battle. If you're interested in whether it's working for another company, whether it's getting sponsorship for your project,
right?
That's half the battle, just getting in the room. So I was like, if you want to be in this room, I get you a badge.
And everything else after that is up to you. You better learn how to talk to somebody.
Yes.
Are there, based on what you were seeing, is there something maybe blooming behind the scenes? I mean, there's always a potential, but I don't know, like a collective of Black comic book creatives that are Eisner Award nominated and or winners that might work together to create their own shit and be like, fuck them. To some of the I have no people in my mind that are part of this collective, I swear to God, but I would love for that to be something that would happen.
I think people have been talking about stuff like that for a long time. Just in general, offhanded, they're thinking about coming together, all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been a part of a couple of those.
And it's hard. It's not even that you folks don't necessarily want to do it,
right?
But the work that you have to put in to do it, and you have so many people who want to be cooks in the kitchen, but nobody want to be a sous chef. Nobody want to fold no napkins.
Maybe the
nobody
egos,
wants, to sweep the floor. Yeah, that part. And it's like there's so, and if you have an independent company, what goes into it. So it's like, okay, who getting the money? Who gonna be the money person? Oh, we don't trust your ass. So we gonna find somebody else. Like, it's like we gotta get sponsorship. Who we gonna get sponsorship from? We gonna get from, we getting grants from banks. We getting, what are we doing? And all these people don't want to do that.
No.
What they can do if I were to suggest anything, is to build a guild, to have a guild.
Yeah.
And do that. It'd be interesting to watch. I mean, me and other Wink members it's been interesting to watch other people like try to put together their own like organization and stuff. And it's fascinating because a lot of folks realize, oh, this shit is hard.
I thought you just asked people for something, or you sent a letter, and everything else just happens.
Yeah, no. It's like this shit is hard. Or there's a shit ton of egos. People, there's stuff that people don't want to do. Like, it's been interesting. Like, I've been privy to some stuff. Like, Regine, just give us your opinion. Just sit in the Zoom and tell us later. And it's just like, oh no, this is not gonna happen, buddy. It's being realistic. You're just looking at the individuals that are a part of, who are thinking about being a part of something. And you're like, oh, this is not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
And it's not that it can't. It's just like people, you do have to put your ego aside. You do have to be honest about what you're willing to do and what you're willing not to do. A lot of folks don't want to push other people's books.
Yeah.
They're like, what about my shit? I'm like, sir, shut up.
Nobody, but it's not you, baby.
What about my shit? What about my shit?
It's not about you, Cookie.
Yes, correct. And that's always interesting. And so for a week, I mean, we've always had, there's always bumps, bro. As long as you do having something, there's always bumps in the road. That's just facts. But the point is that next year will be our 15th year, and we in this hoe.
God damn.
Like we in this hoe. And every once in a while I'll have women who've been in the industry for a long time and be like, how'd y'all do this? Because there were other iterations of other like women in comics organizations and they fell apart. Mm-hmm. It's like, we accept each other for us, for who we are. It's like, it's okay if everyone don't like each other and they don't get along. But did you get what you want to get out of this organization? Did it get you where you needed to go without you having to step on somebody's head to do it?
Is the dream being realized? Is it like okay, yeah, I hate the way that I'm being real facetious. I hate the way that Carol chews her fucking food at lunchtime. You can hear her ass all the way down the damn hall. Yeah. But that bitch can make a goddamn spreadsheet like nobody's fucking business. That's not my forte. I need to have Carol in here. She's got to be here, and I will advocate for her to be in here because she's so good at that.
Exactly. I mean, thankfully, a good chunk of folks do like each other, which helps, and they do look at each other in a family way. Like, it's so arbitrary to throw that word around. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for me as a person that started this organization, and then we have events, and I watch how members interact with each other. It's like, oh, this is a family. Like this is, even if like you didn't see your cousin for 2 years, people hugging in the corner, crying. It's like that. And it sounds so mushy, but it's the truth. Yeah. So, and I don't expect other people to do that at all. For whatever your org is, whatever the flavor is, whatever the culture is, that's just it. That is what it is. But whatever your mission is, I mean, you want people who think in a like-minded way.
Yep.
And you can move forward together. And I think that a lot of folks are either not looking for that because they're so busy concentrating on themselves. And I'm not poo-pooing that. Do you, boo. I don't want you to be a part of something and you can't fulfill what needs to be required. But there's some folks who join shit who only want people to help them with their shit and they won't help anyone else. So in a situation where you're talking about like, okay, a collective of folks that come together to help each other, to push each other forward, you have to be willing to help your brother or your sister, your cousin, your nibbling. Like, you got to be able to do that. But if you're not capable, it's not going to happen.
And I think it's also about timing. It's really about timing. Like you can be that selfish person, but do you have time? Is there a gap in your window where you can actually help get this up off the ground? It's okay if you need to dip because you want to go back to being selfish, but do you have that self-awareness? Do you have the again, timing in order to do this right now without you pushing your own agenda on it?
Exactly.
And that's, I think that's I don't know if that many people think about things that way.
No, they don't. They don't. It's like, it's again, like I hate to sound like corny or cliche, but you got to be down with the mission. Like, if you're not down with the mission, ain't shit gonna get done.
I can't build this boat by myself, boo.
Exactly. So I say this also, like, I want to see that. I want to see more people do stuff, because I remember someone's like, oh, Regine, you like being the only one, blah, blah, blah. You like, I was like, who said that? I was like, excuse me. I was like, that's never me. That might be you, but that's not me. I'm like, I do want to see more, people coming together and doing something, building a coalition or what have you. I said, you have the wherewithal, you have to have the chutzpah to do it.
Mm.
And you can't force people to have that.
Yeah.
It has to be people who are willing to give of themselves, are willing to make certain sacrifices to make the mission happen. So to answer your question, it's possible. It's possible.
I know it.
A nigga's gonna do it. That's
now see, I'm gonna go back to my real question based on what you saw. Do you think that there's a probability that something might be could be brewing?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
I'm not even trying to be funny, because you're specifically talking about people who have been nominated in the past and people who've won. There's not a lot of us. It doesn't mean it can't happen. Now, we had several of our Wink members have Eisner awards, and they are Black. They are Black women. Happy to be Black women. There are some other folks, but if we want to talk about a specific melanation, like, you know what I mean, we can count on almost two hands how many Black women have won Eisner Awards. If I'm not mistaken, it's 6.
Shit, that's more than I thought. I'm not going to hold you. I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think I know. I can't even name them off. Finish what you was going to say.
I don't know if I can name an order. Well, I can kind of name an order. We have Dr. Sheena Howard.
Oh, fuck, right.
Dr. Sheena Howard. We have Alisa E. Martinez and Roxanne Gay. I think Kiana Whitehead she was either nominated or she won. I think
that's a nomination.
She was nominated, I think, twice.
Yeah.
I think Nnedi Ofofor.
Definitely a winner.
So
I want to. I'm looking it up right now.
If I'm not mistaken,
I think you're right.
Me. It's Women in Comics and me, but they have my name up there. So it's me. It's just Women in Comics and me. That's what they put up there. So 5.
Nnedi Okonkwo, yeah, she won in 2020.
Yeah, so that's 5.
Okay. Girl, you got extra credit already. You ain't got to name. I mean, respectfully, everybody deserves it, but we're both women of a certain age. And
so it might be a 6th person I'm just forgetting, but because me and Sheena Howard talk about, like, how many do we think it's only, like, we and Sheena were chatting about, like, how many, and I think recently it was brought to my attention that I was only I'm the 2nd Black woman to be a judge in 26 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah. The hope is that things are changing, right? The hope is that things are changing and all of that.
Yes.
So, I mean, I know men have won, but off the top of my head, I don't remember which men have won. But I know men have won, including this year.
What is this man's name? Black Panther.
But at least I think maybe 10 there've been 10 Black men who have won, and maybe some of them have won multiples. I know for sure. I know David Walker. I know Marcus Kwame. I know John Jennings.
I can't
I think
remember.
Christopher Priest. I'm not sure. Is it Christopher Priest one? Ta-Nehisi
Tanasi
Coates.
Coates, yes.
Did he win?
Yep.
So I named 5. Sanford Green, Chuck Brown. Some of the awards
right, for Bitterroot
packaged. Yeah, some of the awards are they're packages. Some folks have won multiples. Some folks have won multiples. I know I'm missing some folks. I'm missing the Hall of Fame this year. For Dennis Cowan. Also, shout out to Jamal Campbell. Jamal Campbell won. Ben Passmore. I think this may be his first. I don't know if this is his first win and second or third nomination. I'm not sure, but I think Ben may have won previously. And I'm just saying winners. I'm bypassing nominations.
No, your memory. You win the memory fucking contest across the land because there ain't no way.
Remember, within the last 5 years, 6 years, I'm sitting downstairs looking and announcing it to the group. Yeah, this person won, yay, I guess, and this person won, maybe, You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Wait, I think I got you for the list of Black Eisner Award winners. Kyle Baker, multiple years in a row.
Kyle Baker, yes.
Jamal Campbell, Ben Passmore, like you said. Ebony Flowers. Who else?
That's 12.
John Layman and Rob Gilroy.
Okay, so that's 14.
The David Walker and all of them over there, Bitterroot, Chuck Brown, Sanford Green.
I named them.
Let me see, and Roxanne Gay, Ta-Nehisi Coates, Yona Harvey, Aletha Martinez, all for Black Panther World of
Yes. Okay, so Yona is 6.
Mm-hmm.
So Yona is 6.
I think. Oh, Jerry Kraft.
Oh, that's right, Jerry Kraft. So that's 15.
Scott Morris is white, I think, isn't he?
I don't know.
Well, hey, look it up. Check me.
Sorry.
Alexandra Tefengi. I don't want to mispronounce.
You said Alexandra?
Is it Alexandra? It's got a DRE. I think it's Alexandra Tefengi.
If that person is them, I'll put them to 7.
I think so.
That'd be 7.
And I think that's all I've got. John Lewis. Technically.
Okay, so 16.
Yep. And then we've got Tana. I'm gonna stay away from that one. I'm not sure about that one.
Wait. No, go ahead. Keep going.
Chris Robinson.
Okay, 17. That was okay. 18.
Mm-hmm. George Harriman. And I think it's. Wait, I'm gonna mess this up. I don't want to mess this up because I think they have them mixed together with the two creators.
Ron Wimberly. I know Ron Wimberly won for Lab.
I think so. Hold on.
That's all
I got. That's all I got. Rebecca Wanzo in 2021.
Okay, so that's
Rebecca Wanzo and Kiana Whitted.
So she did.
Mm-hmm.
She did. So that's 9 women.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. 9 women and 20 men.
Yeah. Which. All right. I mean,
You know.
Able
to count.
So were they.
Able to count. Is able to count.
I shouldn't be after 26 years. I mean, it's only been 26 years. But I shouldn't. And it's you know what it is? It's the repeating names. It's like, yeah, they're good 100%. Do they deserve to win? More than likely, probably. But how do you want
to usher in? You want to usher in
new
talent, or even if the talent has been here a long time and you just never acknowledged it. You know what I mean? It's that part. It's It's you want to, like I said, like not just, like, okay, we nominate those folks, but it's people that I absolutely adore. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, let's usher in the new guard.
Yeah.
So that they are encouraged. I mean, that's what the award is. Besides, getting jobs, getting money, blah, blah. It's about encouragement to keep going, as well as a check, because give me the check. Check is number one before an award. Give me my check. Put respect on my check.
Please, money dance ensue.
But as encouragement to keep going, and like I'm okay. Here's the thing. I'm okay with seeing the same names in the sense that if the work is always good.
Of course,
if
that's
it. Always on point, cool. If there are people whose work is just as good or better, they should be nominated and they should win. That's just my opinion. But again, if people are just voting for their friends, or they just voting for the name that they recognize, they're not checking the books out, then
that's asking people to get out of their comfort zones.
Their comfort zones. And and then there's the flip side, which I thought we might bring up, like in terms of like folks who are like submitting, and I think you probably asked me this last time, like how what should they submit, how should they submit, and what I'll always say is make sure your book is tight, make sure it's good. Like, please just have somebody else read it for you that don't know you. Because there's also that part of folks being like, oh, well, I should be up there and blah, blah. I'm like, did you read what you wrote? Did you read?
I know you like it, but does everybody else
like it? What critique have you received? This has to be a review. Like, who read it that wasn't related to you? Or who read it, gave you critique, and you told them to go fuck themselves. Like, and you decided not to go fix it. You have to be competitive. Like, you have to be up there. You see these books that are up there. There's a reason why you keep seeing some of the same names all the time, because they books don't miss. I read these damn things. Like, read these damn. There are books that I was just like, okay, these people like folks gonna be so mad to see this name again, but the book is so damn good, it has to be up there.
Bro, when I saw Tinian's name, I was like, this motherfucker don't. I like Tinian's writing. I love his storytelling. I love the visualization behind it. Are there other stories in the categories he's in that resonate with me better? Absolutely. Goddamn, but that's not going to take away from what he does, because he can. Not just him.
Yeah.
There are storytellers that you can drop into any subject matter, and it's like they've been writing this for decades. Yeah, like they've always had this story in his head.
James is amazing. I mean, James is a person. He's a great person, and then on top of it, his work is tight. Like, if you're reading his stuff is tight. Okay. And then what's wonderful about Exquisite Corpses is that he's putting people on. Like, there's a different person on each book for a reason, because he's putting people on. And I was so happy that when we did the nominations that book got through. But it's an amazing book if you read fucking Exquisite Corpses.
It is crazy. And wait, to my audience, y'all motherfuckers know I do not promote white men on this show in any fucking capacity.
Just blame me.
But this is it's good shit.
It's like what I tell people, like who've asked me, like, as you know, I've been on these various different podcasts talking about this, and people have asked me various questions. It's like, listen, like okay, like I really like this book, and I don't understand why I didn't win. It's like, you didn't read the other books along with it, or not didn't win, but wasn't nominated. It's like, you didn't read the other books along with it that's in that category. If you're reading comparatively, and you can be like, okay, like I'm gonna vote for this book no matter what, right? Yep. Like, no matter what, I'm gonna put it on. But then you read other 3 books in that category, you're like, shit.
It's like, fuck. I don't know. It should be a Sophie's choice when it comes to the comic book.
Well, once you can't put something down, like there were instances where I had to put something down in order to read the next book.
Right.
you know, like let's say like, you know, there's a series and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read the first 3 issues, right? I'm gonna read the first 3 issues and then I'm on to the next book. I'm like, damn, I gotta read issue 5. I gotta read issue 4 or 5. Like I can't, you know, I had to force myself. I had to stop myself from reading further because I'm like, damn it, you got the nomination for me, that's for sure. And that happened a lot. So that's one thing I'm very proud of. Like a lot of those books up there were those books. And again, we talked about that. Like as judges, like, could you put that down? Like, no, I couldn't put it down. I had to go to the next book.
It was cake. I couldn't help.
And those are also some of the books that didn't win.
Yeah.
Where that had us like, are you serious? Like you couldn't put that book down. You kidding me? But so I say that to say, in alignment with everything that we're saying, for folks, you know, who are interested in submitting to anything. It doesn't have to be the Eisners. You gotta just make sure that your work is tight. I'm really reinforcing that because there are individuals. There are individuals. You can't tell them shit. You can't tell them shit about their work. They're not trying to be edited. They're not trying to be critiqued. You just gotta love it. And it's like everybody not gonna love your funny looking baby.
I said, did I not say? I feel like I said this a couple of weeks ago. Like your baby, I love that you love your baby, but your baby is not winning no fucking awards. Okay? Yeah. Oh Lord.
And and you don't have to. And it's also you don't have to submit anything, right? It's like this is. You know, someone asked, is there Rev Rogers?
Yeah.
Asked, is there a Black Literary Award, Black Comics Writers Guild Award? No. What there is in alignment with that is the Glyph Awards. The Glyph Awards is over 20 years old. And it's a prestigious award. It's run by the East Coast Black Age of Comic Creators. I was a judge for 4 years for the Glyphs. So there's that, and I mean, you know, and the Glyph Awards is revered. You know, white folks submit to the Glyphs. Anybody can submit to the Glyphs, but it's Black folks that created it. It's Black folks that created it from the East Coast Black Age of Comic Creators up in Philadelphia. But it's primarily an award to highlight Black characters. That's what it's for, as well as creators. But like I said, anybody can submit, but the primary focus is black characters. That's what they're looking for. So that does exist, and people do submit to it. They receive a lot of submissions. They receive a lot of
I bet. Is there? I don't even know. Is there a way for you? I guess it depends. You know what? I guess it's the blessing with these awards. Now that I'm sitting down and actually, you know, not quite so angry about it. The fact that these happen once a year is a good thing. It lets people, I guess, finally receive their their blessings, their acknowledgments. For the folks that, you know, be mad when they lose, have you seen them change or be more open to critiques? Like
when they lose? In general?
I mean, yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny. I want to be clear. No, I mean, for the Eisners or anything.
I'll start with the Eisners.
I don't think I've seen anything like that. Not to say that someone didn't, but the question is, did someone give them critique in order to do so? Like, because you're talking about someone who was nominated and they didn't win, or they submitted and it just nothing. Like,
it's a nomination and didn't win. Because for me, if it's me and I know I'm up there, if I'm being greedy, and I want that win, I want to win. I want to know what it was that hit the readers, hit the voters, less than the winner. Like
the thing is about it was, like I said, going back to the ballot and stuff and people voting, a lot of people, like I said, like a lot of people are voting for their friends, or they're voting for, the book that they automatically think is going to win, or the book that they so happen to read but didn't read the others. So it's kind of like answering that question. I can't answer it accurately. What I can answer more accurately is if you submitted something and it wasn't nominated.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Especially because if nobody read the book and they're just like, oh, I know so and so and I know so and so, I'm assuming the book is good. Check. And I'm sure there are people that actually went and read the books. Like there are people that did that. But mostly probably not. I'm just gonna put that out there. That's my assumption, and I could totally be wrong. I just want to put that out there as well. I've absolutely had that conversation with people. No one has rolled up on me because no one do that. But I've approached people. I'm like, hey, I did see your book. And told them what judges are looking for in terms of the specific categories. That I have done. One person did ask me not about this award cycle, but in a previous award cycle, they had sent their book in. Well, they thought their book was sent in. They weren't sure. They assumed that it was by the company, but they saw that like in this award cycle, like more books from that company were nominated. And they were just like, do you think that they sent it in? Do you think that it wasn't? Do you think how does that happen? What happens? And so I was honest with them, like I'm honest with everybody. I'm like, well, first and foremost, like for that particular company, I was like, no, like they absolutely sent in their books. I don't know if they sent in every single one, but they sent in. We had a section for them, like they were in a long box, and I personally went looking for certain books that were submitted. So I personally went looking for them. I sorted through them and pulled those books out, read them, brought them to the judges, and that's how it was nominated. I said, for your book, I mean, it's possible that the book was lost in the sauce because there's all these submissions, and unless a judge is going through the submission list and says, oh, that book looks interesting, can y'all send it to me? Because they're not going to send us 2,300 books in the mail, y'all. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to send that to five people.
To have them not read a quarter of it.
Yeah. And then, and then we do get PDFs, and this course is webcomics, so that's more accessible, of course.
Yeah,
but most books are, they're hardcover. That's how they come in physical form. So I sat down with this person and let them know, it's like your book possibly got lost in the sauce, not because someone was gunning for you or they didn't send the book in. I said it's possible that the book might not have been sent, but if it was, it possibly got lost in the sauce.
So, is that from so is that due to a lack of pizzazz, a lack of word of mouth, a lack of this has been the number one comic for the last 18 months straight?
Not necessarily. No, child, listen. Like when specifically outside of when we get sent the books in, when you go down to San Diego Comic-Con headquarters, they have almost every single physical book there. It's over 1,000 books, because let's say, for argument's sake, the amount of between PDFs and webcomics is 300, which is still a lot.
Yeah.
Let's just say, for argument's sake, that's how much it is. There's still 2,000 books sitting there. They're on shelves, nice and orderly. They're in long boxes, nice and orderly. But there are some that are still wrapped in plastic. There's some that are in boxes. There's because there's so many books. There are books that are duplicates. There's duplicates of books there. Because someone sent them multiples, and so there's some books that sometimes you got to go through it, and they're they're open to that. Like, yeah, go through it. Go see if there's any other books you want us to look at, want the judges to look at, any other books that you think should be considered or what have you. So we're doing that over a weekend, but this is in addition to all the other books that we've read. You know, and again, and then everybody sends in their books last minute Nellies, and that leaves us a month to read your book. So it's about people being human and being able to do what they can do. And that goes for every single award. As a person that's done multiple awards, from the Glyph Awards to the Scholastic Young Artists and Writers Awards, like, it's a lot of shit. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. No matter what award, you know, that you do, it's going to be a lot of material. So some things do stand out more than others. You know, some books you may have always wanted to read, and you just didn't get a chance to do it. You're like, oh shit. So that's like, okay, here's a list of books I would love to read. Because also you're trying to anticipate what's going to get sent in, because you're not sure until they're submitted.
Yeah.
You know, and you receive them. You know,
is there? This is for the creatives that are thinking about putting their shit out there. How early can you submit your books?
I mean, you submit them as soon as it's posted. Like what the receiving date is. I'm saying receiving date, but when they say, like, okay, you know, submissions open January 16th. That's it. And you can send a PDF, you can send a hard copy. I suggest sending both, just in case your hard copy gets lost in the mail. But then a lot of times PDFs fuck up.
Yeah, correct.
You know, links fuck up. That happened a lot. Sometimes people said, like, companies said, like, yeah, we sent you all these PDFs, here are the books, and the book's not there. The name of the book is there, but not the actual
PDF.
You know, and creators are also encouraged to send their books, even though some companies don't want them to do that, and tell them that. Like, don't send your books because we're concentrating on other books. Like, there's that as well. Yes.
Oh, wait. Not the fuck you. We want this one to ride. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that does happen. But you can send. But if someone else really feels like your book is amazing, which did happen that did happen, because we as judges can submit books, and I told that story already.
Yes.
You know, I told that story already, and so that can happen as well. Like, it's like, oh, how the hell this book gets submitted? Because the judge did it. Because the judge thought this book was amazing and submitted the shit.
And then everybody else agreed.
Exactly. It's like, why didn't you send this? You sent all this other garbage, but you didn't send this. Because you thought that we would, you know, take to this other stuff. And, you know, we did not. Like, we did not. What stood out was this. And this is what you should have said.
It doesn't make sense why would you shoot? This is not a question you answered at all. Why the?
It's what they think is a contender. It's what, I mean, I'm not sure how many, because so many people have been judges throughout the years. But I find it interesting, like, for anyone who is saying that at a company, like, no, we want to concentrate on this as opposed to that. It makes me wonder if they've ever been a judge, because I'm just like, that's not how it works. Because if you have the judges sitting there and you're like, well, this book was more popular than these other books, why would you not send that? And for folks who have questioned that over the years, like, okay, like, this is being nominated, that's being nominated, why wasn't this other stuff nominated? Part of it is because the book was not submitted. Nothing to do with the judges. We didn't see that shit. We didn't see it. It wasn't submitted. It wasn't on the list at all. Because there are books that we do ask for, which I did. Like, oh, like, was this submitted? Was that submitted? Kind of find out it wasn't. It's like, okay, can we reach out to the company and ask them to submit it?
Yeah, you were
like, they can do that. We can't. That can be done beforehand, like before, you know, submissions close, and even after submissions close, if we ask for it as judges, you know, can they please send a PDF? Can they send a hard copy or something? Like, we can make that happen. So there is a lot of responsibility that is in our lap that we are capable of doing. You just have to be willing to do it and ask those questions as a judge.
All right. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna give the Eisners a break. I will. I do actually. Before the break. Hi Rev. I appreciate you. You have 1,003 questions. We gonna blow through some of these. All right. Um, Rev asks. He assumes that there are Black-owned publishing houses. You are correct. They're far and few in between. But there are well, not no, that's not true. I don't want to say far and few in between, but there are Black-owned publishing houses. They're not as prominent as, say, a Marvel or DC or Image comics, but they do exist. What was your other question? And your other question was if I can find it. Are there any? Nope, that was your other question. Literary awards. I am so sorry, y'all. Pardon me. I'm trying to get to everybody's statements. Oh, I assume that it is based. I guess the submissions, they're based on the publishing date for that year. For the
awards.
If you're going to submit your comic, it's based on the publishing date.
So for 2027, it's 2026 books that have been published. Got
it. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. Absolute Batman it has been a year. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. My bad. All right. When we come back, I'm going to take a brief little break. I want to talk to you about the independent comic footprint at San Diego Comic-Con. Y'all hang around for 2.5 minutes and look at all the other wonderful podcasts that I am friends with in junk. Okay, bye. Our Maximus drops the mic like Thor's hammer, boom, chasing M40, scheming plots in the writer's room. Lord Trios stitches through his threads in the loom. Pop culture dissected, every panel consumed. Comics, anime, films on rewind. Deep dives, we leave no flame behind. Like the story of Dracula, or at least his origin story, as a tragedy. Super breakdown, it's one wild ride. X-ray the pixels, every Easter egg's exposed. Marvel to DC where the fandom explodes. From Akira to Gotham, the saga unfolds. With the narrators of myths. Oh my god. Wow. Shapeshifter. The Shapeshifter. Open the doors. It's a super breakdown. We're cracking the code. Let's touch on Blackheart real quick. We just shouldn't get. From the pages to the screen, we take you inside. Super breakdown. It's one wild ride. What? Yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind. With these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life or death star. So far removed from the drama, we don't notice harm, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus charm. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically to sum it up like you define math, this crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. I'm Mary band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. Yeah. You are now tuned in to Blur's Eye View. And without further ado, we out. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That is our a little club of podcast individuals. Regine, I think you were on an episode of Melanin Minds recently.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
debuted last week, I think.
I
Yeah.
think so. I believe so. I hope you had a good time. It looked like the interview was a lot of fun as well, and in depth as well. You should check it out, everybody. Okay, so elephant in the room. You were on the floor as well, doing the hustling and the bustling. Touched on earlier. I wanted to know what what is the indie scene like at Comic-Con? Do you find that people are gravitating more towards indies now? Are they searching for like individual books from creatives they've never seen before?
I've always felt like San Diego was pretty open. That's always been my experience with them. In terms of the indie scene, like they just buy what looks good, what they think might be interesting.
Yeah.
So I've always appreciated that about the San Diego Comic-Con audience. I would say, like, because San Diego is what it is, because I've seen a couple of podcasts of for folks who went out, and also on social media, folks talking about like a lack of seeing Black women having tables and such, and I wanted to explain why.
Do tell, madam.
There's a reason why. San Diego Comic-Con is old as shit, and a lot of folks have been grandfathered in terms of their tables. So some people have had their tables for 25 years, 16 years, because like if you're a mainstay. You're a mainstay. You're someone who has possibly, done their other events in the past, like WonderCon. They used to own Ape. Ape used to be in San Francisco. That's a small press convention. I think it's in Florida now. So a waiting list exists essentially for folks to get a table. Like you can't just get, and that goes for Artist Alley too. Artist Alley, what a lot of folks don't know is Artist Alley is free. It is sponsored. It's a sponsored section. It's always been a sponsored section.
Wait. Free in what manner? It's
a free table.
As long as you are an established artist, I'm assuming.
Well, you're an independent artist. I mean, there's a lot of established people, but if a space opens up, because it's shrunk over the years. I mean, it used to be much bigger. Part of that is because they had a sponsor for a digital DeviantArt. Almost said digital webpage. DeviantArt used to sponsor it, and it took up more of the floor. But once they stopped, San Diego Comic-Con decided that they would sponsor it themselves, because they're a nonprofit. A lot of folks don't know San Diego Comic-Con is a nonprofit. They are not a for-profit business, and so when you have a nonprofit, there are certain like free things that you have to offer. Also having like an educational component to your convention and things that you do. So there's different things they have to do to keep that 501(c)(3). So so one of those things is like they have a space for artists to be. But they had to shrink it because you have to still be able to afford it, or to be able to let those folks be for free.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get a table unless someone backs out. Like someone's like, I can't be here anymore. And when that happens, a space opens up. Like it took Wink maybe 5 years to get a booth. I think I started applying in 2009 or 10, and then I gave up for a couple of years.
Understandable.
And then I think in 2016, I just put the application in, just arbitrarily, okay, whatever. And in 2017, they called me and said, Regine, do you want the table? because at that point we had started doing panel discussions off premises, which was a no-no. We did a lot of no-nos. But we did, but I told them, I said, listen, they were like, well, you can't do it close to the convention center. I'm like, whatever, fine. And we had our first women of color in comics panel at the local library. And so
do you mind explaining why you can't have a panel on site?
Why we couldn't have a panel on site, because they kept saying no to the panel too. So simultaneously, I was getting no for the panels and I was getting no for the table. And so I said, okay, well, I'm contacting the local library. And so for the main library, I think they were doing free panels to the public in coordination with Comic-Con. And so they told me that I couldn't do it because it wasn't something that they had approved, even though it was library programming. But because it was during Comic-Con week, they were saying that we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it because it was during Comic-Con. So I said, well, is there another library we can go to? Because we're doing this.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, well, you can go to a library that's a little bit farther out. And, shout outs to Barrio del Logan. That's Barrio del Logan. That's a neighborhood that we went to. And that's the library we went to. Beautiful, gorgeous library, huge. And actually a local comic book convention heard that we were doing that. And they're like, well, we want to come and join you. And we're going to give out free comics during your panel. And so we did that. And I think it just so happens, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is when this happened, when two employees from Comic-Con came to our panel, and they were like, "You should be inside. Why are you not inside?" And I said, "Because they said no." And they said, "Well, we're going to work on that."
What you mean? Why? I am where I am welcomed. You did not welcome me to be on your premises.
Exactly, but but they weren't a part of that. These guys, they're two brothers. Oh gosh, now all of a sudden I'm blanking on one of their names, but shout outs to Simon and Dennis. They run the blood bank. They run the blood bank at Comic-Con because they do a blood drive there. And so they so happy to come. And so they were just like, no, we're going to tell the Comic-Con, we're going to go to the committee and be like, this organization should be inside the building. So by 2020, it was 2016, where I got an email saying, like, Regine, do you want to do this panel last minute here at the convention center because we got an opening? Do you want to do it? And I said, yeah, we'll take it. It was like I was leaving for Comic-Con in a week. So that was the first. So this year was our 10th year of hosting this panel, which is now the race, gender, and comic book medium panel. This is our 10-year anniversary of doing that panel at Comic-Con, and we did commemorate that.
Yay.
But it correlates with what you're asking, because the next year was when they called me and said, "Do you want a table? Like, you don't have a table. We have an opening. Do you want it?" I said, "Yeah, give it to me."
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had to wait for something to happen to somebody, unfortunately, to get that table.
Now, do you? Okay, so since you, I think this is my question. So this is your first year having a table versus having a panel, or you've had a table for multiple years?
We've had a table since 2017.
Okay, that's
a booth. It's a booth. We've had a booth since 2017.
Okay,
and we've had the panel inside the building since 2016.
Stupid. Fucking stupid. So since you've been able to see the shift, I guess, what is it, waning and waxing of the comic book movement, because I feel like there has been a shift back and forth. There's like this tug of war battle going on with mainstream comics and film and TV, which it feels like a lot of that stuff is moving into. Oh, I'm sorry, Renita. That was at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprise. Over the last couple of years, I guess this is the easier question to ask, is do you feel like the independent comics book space is gaining traction where they are being looked at for more film and television? Because there was a point where we were still technically supposed to be getting a Bitterroot movie. We were supposed to be getting who else? I can't think of anybody else's name off the top of my head, but another Image Comics TV show as well. We've been getting Invincible. We've been getting The Boys. That there was that like 5-year rush of shit you're not supposed to see on TV, but it's in comics, so we're going to put it on TV. Do you feel like they're starting to look a little bit more in the independent direction?
What I'll say is you never know who's looking at your work, especially at San Diego Comic-Con. I've had plenty of people come by and drop cards, like from the Warner Brothers studio or what have you. And, you follow up and everything, but, that doesn't necessarily mean something's going to happen. I mean, even for folks who, as you just named some folks that actually did have, things come to fruition. Other folks who haven't had it come to fruition yet. There's a lot of red tape. You sign a contract and you wait for, 20 years for a book to come out. I remember even for like The Boys, for example, they were optioned, I think, in the 90s. I know Preacher was optioned in the 90s, and it took years for that licensing to finally get to the right company that was actually going to produce it. And I remember being hip to that because of Wizard Magazine. Shout out to all the old school Wizard Magazine, because it would have that, that had that information, and you find out like who has a license now, who has a permission now to create this thing. So the people are there, they're looking, they're chit chatting, they're leaving cards. Like that's always what it's been. I've always experienced that at San Diego Comic-Con, and I've experienced that at New York Comic-Con too. So it's not that people aren't open. It's just that when they sit down and talk to you, and when you finally do the numbers, if you even get to the point of signing a contract, like, is it going to be done? Is this something that's going to be shelved? There's so many projects that have been shelved.
Which is also sad, because I'm so sorry. Beg my pardon.
Let him stay. One of my cats is behind my computer.
No, he's standing like he literally never does. He's standing on top of the air conditioner, which he never does. I'm like, sir, you are 14 pounds. I need this to last all the way through September. Okay, I'm not coming home to a cooked cat. That's not gonna happen.
Listen.
Good God. I lost my train of thought. It makes me sad when the deals on these types of things fall through, because it is 9 times out of 10 the creators sold the rights. Is that accurate?
Sometimes, or it's because that there might be, there might be a fight over the series, in the sense that, like, oh, I'm the creator, I want to be in the writer's room, and they're like, nah, that happens a lot. I want it, I want it to be this way, and y'all want to be that way. It's like just a lot of like just creative back and forth. I mean, we've already seen it recently with other shows, and creators have talked about those various things. Sometimes you got to sign the rights, read the contract, and make that decision, and then close your eyes and hope that it come out okay. Like, so it's either you sign it or you don't. Because at some point, like, they're gonna do whatever they want, and if you're good with that, if you're not, then you may have to sit on it a while, before you get the deal that you want. So yeah, like, so they be out there, they be walking the aisles and everything, like, not just folks from big studios, but Also, video game folks, are walking the aisles. You have folks for larger publishing companies walking the aisles. So that's nothing new, but it's ever present. But also, to take it back real quick to about the lack of Black women. I mean, we want us to have those opportunities to at least talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And having a table helps that, but it's hard when it's not easy to get a table. So yeah, you're going to see the same faces over and over again because something has to happen for a table to become available.
Is there any way to get around? Like, is there some kind of advocating for yourself?
This is what we do. This is what we've always done. Like, we'll have a booth and tell members, like, okay, if you're coming to the show, if you want to sell at our table, you can. We'll take a limited number of folks and have them at the booth and sell if they want. Or sometimes if they can't get there, but they're like, take our, here's the books and sell it for us. We've done that. So that's allowed folks to have a presence at the show, whether be it large or small. So that's what we've done as an organization. We've done it at New York Comic Con, and we've done it at San Diego and other shows as well.
Do you think you could advocate for a bigger footprint for those types of creatives on their own, so that you aren't
again, I'm not trying to be funny, but someone got keeled over. Like, you can't like, these are, like I said, these are tables that people were able to get because someone's like, I'm not going next year. My
medical alert went off.
I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. If that could happen, if there was space to do it, because unfortunately San Diego Comic Con has outgrown that convention center.
Really?
Like 2 times. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Like 2 times over. So it's not a no. It's just that some gotta happen. Like, if they decided, like, okay, we'll do a dedicated space for this, that, it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that when you have a limited amount of space to work with in the first place, and then you've already set this precedent where it's like, okay, if you want this table, we reapply every year. It's not like you don't apply. But if there are people that don't apply, like they don't buy a table this year, then that opens it up for the next person. So what I would say is get on the wait list.
Yeah.
Get on the wait list. And that goes for panels too. Get on the wait list, and you keep pushing and applying. At some point, you will get something. At some point. Yeah, I know. But that's also why I encourage just working with the community. Like, you may have to do it on a week that is not San Diego Comic Con. Like, in terms of doing a local event, like truly, and having your own events, because this is so deeply locked in. It's so deeply locked in. So that's what I would do. Is like, I would just encourage people to apply, because it's just so hard to get a table. It's so hard. Or actually, it's easier to get a table at WonderCon. Apply for WonderCon.
What is that, Anaheim?
It's in Anaheim. So I would encourage, since we're talking about Black women specifically, apply for WonderCon. And if you get into WonderCon, it'll be easier to get into San Diego Comic Con when a booth or a table is available.
Okay, some key tips, ladies, yeah, gentlemen, yeah, I love y'all. The ladies,
Kinda.
the ladies. Okay, I also bringing up women in comics. I was doing my research for my Kickstarters, and oh my god, I need. I've said this before. I'm going to continue to say it. I need some soft books, okay? And I'm sorry to prescribe this to women specifically, but I need some soft books, because all I'm getting are punch them in the throat, kill them, shoot them, trials and tribulation, and all this other shit. It's not just us. It's never. It's in the comic book world. That is a foundational fucking moment. That is canon.
Yeah.
In anybody's story. Do you know? I guess I got you on the show. I'm gonna ask you. Do you know of any Black women that are writing softer fucking books? Because oh my god,
Like slice of life.
it's a slice of. You know what? You know what? I want a Black version of Apothecary Diaries. I have. That is what I am. That is. I just thought about it. That is the itch that I need scratched a little
Okay.
bit. I need a little bit of drama. I need a little bit of will they, won't they? A little bit of.
I mean, I'm sure there are some folks that I follow on Instagram that do. I feel like I can't get their names off the top of my head, but there are folks that are doing that. Because it.
I don't mean to put you on the spot either.
No, because it's like doing. It's not that they don't. They do. I just like I said, I just can't get them off the top of my head. But I mean, once I got to scroll through my Instagram, and once that's cool, I will send them to you. I don't know if they have Kickstarters, but they're producing work. They might be on Webtoons or Tapas.
That's fine.
I'm sorry, plastic. I keep calling them Tapas.
And now I'm hungry a little bit, to be honest. I think somebody's frying some chicken or something in the house, and I'm a little hungry.
Yeah.
No, if you send them my way, I'll even put them in the future me. Don't forget.
Okay.
I'll put them in the description below. For anybody that wants to, have a little bit of something different in their purview. I say all that also to say, where are you when you were at San Diego, did you see, are we as women in general making more of a footprint in the comic book scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, when you go to Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con specifically, there are so much more women. There's so much more Black folks since I started going in 2008.
Okay.
It's you can't turn without one of us being there. Like, it's beautiful.
Okay, good.
From like cosplayers to creators to fans. There's a lot of us. There's a lot more of us. Okay. Is what I'll say, and it makes me super happy to see that, because it's just so important. And there are events outside of the convention that were specifically happening to cultivate, like, Black creator stuff, like Blerd and Bougie was happening. I know that I think Black Girl Nerds had an event. We of course had our event. There was also a lot more panels featuring us. I saw that.
I saw the list. I have never been so sad to see. This was the year that I knew I was going to be disappointed that I sat out going to conventions this year, but I had to do it. But seeing the list of Black women specific creatives that were going on every single day.
Yeah. Like, it was so, I mean, for me, because of what I do, like, that was my that's my dream. That was my dream. And we talked about that, like, on the race, gender, comic book medium panel, because we were talking about, like, it's been 10 years, since we've had this panel, and to watch all of these folks, come in and have their own. Because when we had the Women of Color Comics panel, I mean, like, that's what the race, gender, comic book medium panel was called originally. Like, it was us, like, it was, in terms of being melanated and having a panel, it was primarily us. And, I'd like to think that we kick-started that. It's like, yeah, it's not just them. We create comics, we do shit, like, here. So it makes me excited to see so many Black women. Come on, tell. So it makes me really, really proud and excited, just to see what's the next leg of our journey, because a part of it is having more of us on the floor as creatives. You want that to be less taboo. Like, when people, see a Black person, a woman specifically at a table, like, oh my God,
like, I'm not just here to carry the books to the table. This is my shit.
You know what I mean? like absolutely, like been there, don't want to do that no more. Like absolutely don't want to do that no more. But I want to just continue to see the evolution. I want to continue to have Black focused events. I think also the Black Heroes Matter panel, they usually have like a gathering where they take a photo of all these Black folks that work in the industry. They usually do that too. So there were these things that were happening that were Black folk focused.
Yeah.
And I want to see that for us, and I want to see that for other cultures as well. So it's growing. Like we there, Kira, we there.
Good. Okay, we're getting there. I want more.
We should have more. We should have more, but I'm just letting you know
that presence is known and felt.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. Do you think it would help if we actually did bring more of those types of events to Black conventions? Like if we had a Bad and Bougie at BlerdCon, at DreamCon, if we had Black Heroes Matter at those types of facilities, do you think that would be like bees to honey as far as bringing more creatives out to, not even creatives, but just people that have the potential to create things? Like I had no idea that I was going to be doing this, but then I saw people like you on the internet. I saw other people, you know what I mean? And I got the encouragement, even if it wasn't directly. It helped me go, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. Do you think that having more people in places where we are the focus, that would help to instill more courage?
I think so. I mean, I always, I find a lot of events interesting in terms of what the role of creators are. Like specifically, if we're talking about comics, like comic book creators, like what is my role and what is my place when I go to any convention, but specifically to the conventions that you mentioned? I'm like, what is my place and what is my role? Because sometimes it can feel a little ostracizing, because oftentimes creators are not addressed, but folks who are like influencers are addressed, and they're welcome. And then when it's time to discuss about like, what do you do, it's like who's this bitch, who are you? And it's just like, oh, okay, all right, well, and I, for me, I'm not going to ever respond to that. Well, I want to check them, but because sometimes you have to remind folks, well, I'm the reason you're here. Like, I create the content that you either review, that you talk about, that's your fodder or whatever.
Just because you don't know my name don't mean I'm not big shit, boo.
Absolutely. And like me, I never get upset about it, but I chuckle. I mean, I've said this, I say that folks have said this to me, so I'm gonna repeat it. It's gonna be like, well, I influence the influencers. They've said that about me, like so I always find that fascinating. Like, I find that fascinating when creatives are missing, to the point that it's like, well, I ain't going. Like, why am I going if you don't give a shit about me? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that goes for a multitude of events. Like, that's like, it's not just about the events that you mentioned, but the fact that specifically going into melanated spaces and folks like, oh, you do, well, I'm like, well, what are y'all doing here? Like, yeah,
yeah.
So sometimes folks will say, well, Regine, you don't go to such and such. I said I wasn't invited.
So I think there is a gap. I do think there is a gap. I don't think, which is shitty, but I don't think they know who to ask. I was talking to somebody today. I don't want to name drop him yet because I might have him on the show, but I'm not sure. Okay, I was talking to him on the show. I was talking to him earlier today, and he does things like he writes bios for Kickstarters and shit. I did not know that was a thing people would just be hired to do. And if I don't know that exists, there's no way that I know that you person exists at all or in that realm. So I think there is a disconnect from people that do these conventions in general, that don't do the research to see the underbelly entirely. Like how do you find the underrepresented if they're not in the spotlight, if they're not put on a website, a cast listing?
Yeah, totally. And I will also say that for me, and I just want to clear this up, nobody got to invite me nowhere. Like, no, truly, really and truly, I'm not really jonesing to go to any place, to be honest. But I mean, truly, but when the conversation comes up, for me personally, it's like, well, and I don't I'm okay with people not knowing who I am. I mean, it's been really interesting over the past couple of months. People I keep hearing this name. Who the fuck is this bitch? And they look me up, they're like, oh shit. And it's like, yeah, nigga, oh shit. It's like, I don't gotta toot a horn. You can Google whatever the fuck you want to Google, and you'll find out whatever you want to know. And if you want to come through and say, hey, can I interview you, or can you be on my show? You can, but for me personally, I'm not going to do a whole bunch of extra work necessarily for folks to know who I am or whatever. But what I will say is, depending upon what you would like happening at your show and what you're interested in, it will behoove you probably to know somebody like me if you need some type of help or assistance in doing something, because I'm quite certain that there are so many creatives that would like to go and do certain things, but they don't feel welcome or wanted. And to your point, these folks at these various different shows that you mentioned and other shows as well, they don't know. And it also, they may feel like, well, that's not what my audience is looking for, and that's okay. I know you just no, it's not. But the thing is, you
don't know what you know. You ain't look. You have no idea.
It's all. But to your point, it's also like, well, find out what your audience wants. Like, do a poll, do a survey. Figure it out what they would like to, who they would like to know, or who they would like to be at a show. Yeah. But definitely, this conversation is a conversation that's been having. I feel like the Black comic community specifically has been having on and off for a long time. Because I do feel because there is this disconnect, between creators, audiences, and conventions.
Yeah. I look at the pictures. The pictures make me happy. I don't think about what went into making the thing that makes me happy.
Yeah. Me times me neither.
Because it's not. You're just. It's a consumption thing. I need this thing to make me happy. It's not a disrespect. It's just. It's a meal. It's a meal.
And truth be told, there are some places that if I was invited, I'd say no. But that's another story.
It's not a secret story. But because I feel the same way. I'm good. Okay. So I think, brother, I want your. Oh, brother, I kind of want you to take a look at, no, I'm not going to do it. I was going to have you take a look at some images and stories and I'm not going to do that because that's tough. I just got inspired in my mind. So I'm just going to talk about what Navy did. Thank you for the donation, Navy. I appreciate it. Navy gave a $5 dono. He said, SDCC is seeing us rising and shining, and they're taking notice of our importance as Black creatives in the comic literary space. Do more. I'm greedy. Give us more. Give more. But no, there is definitely a larger, like you said, there's a larger footprint going on, and hopefully it's expanding, especially with you, Miss Regine, influencing a couple of things in the background, hopefully, and inspiring people to chat up the Eisners. the Eisners, other Black creatives across the board, especially with all of your work with women in comics for the last 18 years?
Women in comics will be 15 next year.
15.
And then this year is my 20th year working in comics.
Jesus Christ, lady. God bless you. Keep going, as always. Now, I hope you don't need that encouragement. I need you to stay with us for a little while longer.
I'm trying.
I know. I know you're tired. It's fine. But okay. With that said, we have some Kickstarters. I'm going to show y'all that tonight. I was going to try to get into some Brand New Day with you, but okay. I'll split the difference. I'm going to do 2 Kickstarters.
Okay.
And we could talk about Brand New Day. Okay. I'll all the links are below for the other Kickstarters. I'm really, really goddamn sorry. Okay. Brand New Day. How are we feeling about this movie? What did you think?
Are we doing spoilers or no?
Look, yeah, we did that shit last week. We gonna do it again.
Okay. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I really liked it. What I will say is, I mean, the first thing that stood out to me more than anything else, because I'm a fucking New Yorker, is how New York it felt.
Yes.
Right? Like everyday New York, like that.
Yes.
So much that my accent is coming out, which I love.
My guy, for real. Every time when I heard his accent, I was like, oh, we in the thick of it now, motherfucker. You really trying to get into this New York feeling. Okay.
Yes.
All right, we're not faking
it. This freaking guy. Like this freaking guy. I was cracking up. We talking about Frank.
Oh, God. Oh my God. Punisher. He leans. I don't even know where I know he's not from New York. I know he is not.
I forget where he's from. But I think he's East Coast. I'm not sure he's East Coast. I forget.
I don't know where that white boy from, but he cool enough.
Look it up, because I think if he's not, if he might be closer to the Midwest, maybe. I feel like if he's not, I wasn't sure if he was John Blumenthal was Chicago.
I think.
Or
now I'm getting.
He feels urban. The thing is, he feels urban.
Yeah, right. I'm getting him mixed up with him being on The Bear. Where the fuck is this dude from? Oh,
yeah. Well, let's just look it up.
Oh no, I'm in it. Where are you from, sir? No, I don't want your IMDb page. No, I do want your IMDb. I don't want your Instagram page. Where is IMDb?
Oh, he's from DC.
Lies.
That's where he's from. DC.
Wow. Okay. All right. How long did you live there, though?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I know, didn't he went to acting school in Russia.
He was born and raised in DC. So
wow.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, I was like, that's
apologies.
East Coast. That's an East Coast. You can tell, like we can tell, like that's an East Coast, like above the Mason-Dixon line person. Like you can,
yeah.
Like he has that feel to him.
Yeah.
But it felt very grounded, like New York grounded, just in terms of the locations and the people, and the fact that when Black Widow's fucking office was a bathhouse, I'm like, this bitch look like me. Like this where you gonna meet me. You're gonna meet me at Star Castle and College Point because I can't do all this,
dude.
Like
it really felt like the bath. I'm not telling y'all where it is. I swear to God, it felt like the East Village bathhouse. That's what it. I was like, that's it. Like it's not like a little less crowded, obviously.
But yeah,
that is it. Holy shit!
Like it felt very New York bound guy.
And the fact that they had it in with a B, Brighton Beach.
Oh yeah, Brighton Beach. Yes.
Because if you know that's where the Russians are.
Yeah, because I was looking. You're trying to figure out which. It's like, okay, you're trying to be funny. Like which bridge is that?
Right.
I was like, oh, that looked like the Brooklyn Bridge. I was like, that's the Brooklyn Bridge.
I'm like, oh wait, yeah, bridges in the right order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's just so you know, it just that overall feel of it just was just very, very New York.
Yeah.
And I know other folks like who are not there, like, but the other movies, like, it's like, no, this was a bit different. This was definitely different, especially because he was interacting with people more as Spider-Man
instead of the superheroes. Like,
like it just like regular degulars, like people seeing him on the street and like, what are you doing? You know, like, and like just going around him, like, it's like that would be us. That's us today. That's us with me as a superhero walking around. I'm like, what are you doing? You got stuff.
You know, he can walk on the street. I don't give a shit. I got to get the fuck to work. I'm not worried about him. Exactly. And matter of fact, I'm gonna move a little bit faster only because wherever the fuck he is, I don't want to be.
Exactly. So there was that part, and I liked what they did with Jean Grey. You can
I reservations.
I didn't watch your review last week. But how did you feel?
I wanted a different character. I wanted a different X-Men to be introduced, or a different villain to be introduced.
Okay.
I like, nothing against the actress. She did her thing. I feel like her story would have been better as a, possibly as, I don't know. With the way that they did her powers, it makes more sense for it to be Spider-Man because he does that. He has
psychic abilities. Yeah. I personally liked it because I mean, as a way to introduce her in a way in which that she wasn't this like this pristine Jean Grey. Because the way we know Jean Grey is like, oh, you know, she's Miss Perfect. You know, she's always fainting, which I get. You know, doing all that psychic shit, you hungry. Like, it's too much. You gotta have to have a meal pack. No, she needs a little meal pack. She needs some Ensure. Like, it's too much. When you psychic, it's a lot. Like, you need to have your little snacks. I was like, no, get her feet into. Like, she's hungry. That's all that is. That's a lot of
just put her on an IV drip all the time, please.
Like she has to stay hydrated. Jean, stay hydrated. So like to have her be like, yo, I'm sick of y'all shit. Where the fuck my sister at? I respected that.
I liked, like I said, I liked her story. I liked what they did. I think I wanted a little more separation of X-Men from my Spider-Man. A little bit. Like I would have liked an X-Men villain in place for that. Maybe a more minor villain in order to help build the rest of this, hopefully, X-Men story. God damn, yo, bro, I'm so nervous with them and the fucking X-Men.
We're gonna see. Because like I said, because she didn't come in like pristine Jean Grey. I did appreciate that.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you know, I mean, I have a thing about, even though I will watch something like this, I have a thing about children being harmed by adults on screen. I mean, watching them force her to use her abilities was hard for me to watch. And then the realization of like, oh, you killed my sister, and that's why this is the last thing I heard her think was because she's underneath this vent. That was a hard thing for me personally. And then, you know, all the added intricacies of it where, you know, Spider-Man comes and, you know, she gets to sit down with Aunt May and she needs a mother to be like, you have these abilities, but, you know, shit is rough and you got to be gentle with yourself. Like, you know, that conversation was something that she needed someone to say to her so that she could move forward. I mean, so I'm personally okay with the introduction, but I do see I do see your point. Because also to your point, I did like the fact that because it's revealed, because I think some folks don't realize that that's what he has. His intuition is a psychic ability.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he can just push around and be like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, you know, and it's just so subtle. It's just so subtle. Like, bitch, what the fuck? And she's like, I can't jump in your head. What the fuck? You know, what is this?
Wait a minute.
Like, wait a minute now. Like, what is this? Like, I've never met someone that can just pop me out their head. Like,
boundaries? You have boundaries?
Yeah. Like, you're like, how dare you? And so for that to be revealed also, because like I said, I don't think some folks realize that's
what he has.
So I appreciated that. And then, you know, when it came to like MJ and what's the friend name with that baby name?
The sister?
No, the friend.
Mary Jane?
Mary Jane
and Ned?
Ned, yes. Ned. Like, I mean, I like the way they did that, where it wasn't just like, oh my God, a kiss awoke me. Like, I did appreciate that. And I appreciated him telling her too, like, I just want to let you know, she did that and I'm sorry, you know.
Like, because who wrote that? Who wrote that? Because nobody was thinking, there's no way you can tell me that in a room full of men that was a thought process. Yeah, because that to me could have been a throwaway scene if you aren't in tune with what actually happened and you're accustomed to that being the thing. Yeah, you don't think, oh shit, wait, sexual assaulty there. I mean,
exactly. So for him to say like, listen, this is what happened and I'm sorry, and it opens that bridge of friendship as well as love, but also friendship. Like I respect you as a human being, and you're my friend, and I want you to know that this happened.
And it's also a cute little way of having them reestablish the love that they have for each other. Because he hasn't changed. Spider-Man hasn't changed at all. Mary Jane may be a different person at her core, but the things that she ultimately needs are all still there. Yes. She still needs safety, trust. She needs somebody that's going to provide for her, let her be her own there was so much in him being that open with her. Like without anything needed to be reciprocated.
Exactly. But even at the end where he finally goes up to Ned, you know, and because I had questions. I mean, I definitely have questions about that, where it's just they automatically did the handshake, and then he's like, Peter, and so I want to know if it's gonna be, because he has magical abilities.
Yep.
So I wanted to know, like, for him, was that his kiss? You know what I'm saying?
There's been speculation about it, and I like to think that it is. That's
it. Like that's a version of it. Like he's like, Peter, like, oh shit, like, you know, like I wonder, so I'm looking forward for them to verify that whatever next movie comes out.
Yeah.
For us to know, like, if that was it. But overall, I did really like it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, what made me feel really good about it was the fact that it just felt so New York and felt so grounded in who we are. Yeah. And who we are as regular degulars.
It didn't feel like a Marvel movie. Like there's definitely the old Marvel takes the serious, take the seriousness out of it and put a little joke here, but it was the Spider-Man way of doing it.
Yeah,
it wasn't the Marvel way of them doing it. I have seen the movie twice. I'm gonna go see it a third time. I really like. Yeah, nah, this my jam. It's my jam. Oh man, I really can't wait to see it again. I don't know if there's anything. Can we talk about something? I may not get to these Kickstarters, y'all. It may be a mad dash at the last couple minutes, because we definitely over the 2-hour mark. But can we talk about the cancellation of a couple of Marvel projects that are in the?
I mean, is we shocked? Are we shocked?
I'm not shocked. I'm a little, you know what? No, I am a little bit shocked. And my reasoning is based on what Disney has done with the previous, well, I guess the previous. I'm laying all this at Disney's feet. Is the short version of all this.
Okay.
The previous CEO did not do this shit. He didn't do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wish there was something in play to keep the next one from coming in and basically wiping the slate fucking clean. I mean that's here nor there. It's done. What's done is done.
No, what's upsetting, what I will say is upsetting is, why are you signing contracts and then canceling stuff? That's what happened with Wonder Man. You know, it was canceled after they signed contracts. You know, Blade was.
It was always. I mean, it was shit was signed, but it was always kind of up in the air. Like as soon as they did that first, this ain't the right fit. I was like, somebody's. This ain't. I really did not think this was going to happen. I'm gonna be real honest. The fact that Mahershala was attached, I was never a fan of. I was never a fan of him being Blade. I felt like they could have found somebody else. Personally, that's a little more don't fuck with me, fellas. Within his stature, Mahershala has a more subtle way of doing that, which I don't think a project like Blade needs. Somebody blackety black needs to be at the helm of that character. Not gonna take shit and say, listen, look, I'm gonna be real funky real with you. If you don't do it in this particular manner with these people that I trust, I'm not doing it. I don't know who that is, and I don't know how far somebody would go under the people that are running Disney now. I don't blame Kevin Feige too much.
My brother does. That's another story.
He gets some of the blame for sure, but I think there's some people that don't want to see our particular stories that are in play now. I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh, we're done talking about Spider-Man, I think, Bama. I think.
Yeah, I get it. The thing is, I what irks me is like, listen, don't tease us though. But don't tease us though. I think with Blade, they fully expected to have it done and they didn't. But I'm still just like, again, don't be signing contracts and getting everybody souped up and presenting stuff on the Comic-Con stage and doing all this, all that, just to play with us. You know, and it just looks like you're just canceling a bunch of black projects.
Because those are the only. It's for Disney. It has been across the board.
But we're getting Ghost Rider. But we're getting Ghost Rider. It's. I mean, it's.
I don't give a fuck about that shit. I really do not give a fuck about that man and his God. I don't give a fuck. I do not care. I'm not excited. I do not care.
No, understood. Yeah, it's very troubling. It's just very troubling, and you know, I'm gonna watch. I will watch Doomsday. I'm gonna watch Doomsday. I'm gonna see it.
I don't know if I'm gonna.
It's okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna go to. I don't know if I'm gonna go see it in the theater. I don't know if I'm gonna go see it.
That's fine. Listen,
I'm like, this leads back to me saying I'm nervous about what they're going to do with the X-Men, because I don't have any reason to believe that this movie, in spite of the directors that they've got on board, is going to make me excited for the future of the MCU. I don't think this is the way to go about doing it. What it does show me is you are nervous and you're getting tried and true actors as your pole tent, and my God, how many of them motherfuckers do you need to sell a movie?
I don't know.
I'm not. I don't know.
I don't know. People, you just feel like people are just playing in your face. I mean, that's how it is. This is how it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is not a popular opinion, but I'm just like, leave us out of it. If you don't want us there, don't pretend like you do. Like that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, and that's where I've always been. I'm almost always been. It's like, if you can't do a story like well with us, if you really don't want us there, I don't want to see us there. Like, I don't want to traumatize no actor into this foolishness.
No.
Like, we deserve to see, the various different Black folks. We deserve, to have good movies, good TV shows. The actors and whoever else is melanated, specifically Black, a part of these casts. They deserve to have like, really good experiences and good checks and all that. But we playing.
Yeah. And I don't. Mr. Chewy Num Nums, hi. He says, I'm not paying for a ticket to see Dr. Itachi and the Nostalgia Bunch. I hate you.
But I don't blame him.
It's weird. I don't know. Honestly, they can't do the X-Men without a Black character in particular. Whoo, shit. The shit that oh God! Shout out to Jamie Lawson. Hi baby. I called it. Called it in advance. I'm just saying, I can't wait to see what you may or may not definitely doing in a couple of years. I'm very happy for you. But say all that to say, even if you do get the job, how comfortable are you now seeing the way that they've done away with so many Black characters, or neutered them, to be honest with you? Because Rhodey, was it between Rhodey and Sam Wilson? Not feeling it. Not feeling like I need to be following them into battle. Sorry, I don't mean to put you in a predicament. If I'm
no, you're not. I don't know what else to say. Like, it's not great. No. Like, it's not great, man. Like, it's not great. It's not great.
Okay, not great.
I mean, we'll see what they try to feed us instead. Even if it's just for shits and giggles, what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Even if it's just for shits and giggles, let's see what they try to feed us instead.
Ooh. You do not have to comment on this. I just had something on word diarrhea. To the folks that are out there saying that we need to stop looking at Marvel and DC and Disney to provide us with comic book characters that look like us. No. That's not how the entertainment industry works. It's not how the entertainment industry works. If you want to provide entertainment for, as you say yourselves all the time, for the masses, we need to be included in that great mass. I want to make sure, obviously, I'm not going to take this shit away from me. Independent comics always get their shine. They always have a place to live and thrive and succeed. But because Big Mama, Big Papa are out here and they are doing the majority of the work, and unfortunately because of capitalism, we have to depend on them to give money to the people that are underneath them in that umbrella. That includes us as Black creatives, Puerto Rican, Asian, Chinese, whatever. If you can hire them to do your work, you can hire them to make the characters, and they should be in those books. The good enough to work for you is no longer. To work for you but not be seen is never been the goal. I want it all. That's been bothering me for like a week, and I needed to say something.
I understand completely.
All right. Well, okay. let me get it. Or do you have any thoughts about that whole thing? Or are you just like same shit, different day?
Yeah, like really, really.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah, honestly.
they've been doing. It's been, yeah. Conversation has been had a multitude of goddamn times, and nobody is doing anything really about it on either side. Because as soon as this conversation boils over and everybody's back to the status fucking quo, y'all are still not promoting the comics that you want to see. Which is why I'm here. So let's get to it. Kickstarters, ladies and gentlemen. I've got two for you. I promise I will not keep you, Regine, I'm sorry, very long. The first up is Love in Dark Places. I talked about this Kickstarter last week. We're going to bring her up to the good Lord. Oh, I hate my computer sometimes. Yes, Love in Dark Places. This comic is by Chelsea Simone. There we go. She has reached above her 50% goal. But she only has 5 days left to go. So what I need y'all to do for me, because I do actually kind of like this book a lot and I want to see more of it. I need y'all to go ahead and click the link that's down in the description. If you want to save it and share it, you know, maybe send a little email to your friends or family that you think would enjoy this book. Please go ahead and do that. She is at $1,579 out of her $3,000 goal. The story is about 4 sisters involved in the world of assassins. Shit be going down. The book is kind of like a Kill Bill in the sense of the way the storyline is told, but also some people get freaky deaky in the comic as well. But it's very well done. It's tasteful. And it's by a lady comic creator. She wrote the story and she also did the art. You guys should go ahead and back this because it's worthy of your monies and attentions and junk. I think she has 10 chapters that she's got in store so far, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be expanding them. If you guys get this funded, it would be nice. This is some of her art. If you guys would like to know more about it, you can absolutely go and check out the episode of Roomful of Blerds with me and Chelsea, where we go into detail about her life and the story that she's providing. All right, next up, let's see if I can share this, is not that. Let's get that back together. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Dark Pink Volume 2. Dark Pink, I was talking about a couple of months ago, raving about this fucking comic. The artwork is fire. The storyline is fire. Last volume, Dara was tackling finding out what took her parents away from her. Not sure if they're dead yet, but her parents are missing. So she has a private investigator firm where she goes and helps the untoward in the world of Louisiana. The last episode, I don't want to give it away, but there were vampires involved. This volume actually is going to be about werewolves. Yay. I'm very curious to see what happens with this, and to see also what kind of outfit she's going to be put into. Not to make this all girly, pink, and frilly, but sis got fire fucking outfits. Also, I want to see what else that arm does. Her little bionic arm that was made by her dad. Oops, not Love in Dark Places. My bad. Sorry about the top. Dark Pink Comics by Christopher Ford. That is actually coming soon. The Kickstarter has not started. You've got 2 days left before it goes live. So please, if you can, go ahead and hit the save button on the website over on Kickstarter. It's right here. Hi. I'm gonna do one more. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do one more. I lied. Hi. So I lied. You're here in for an inch, in for a pound, whatever, however it goes. All right, so this is my very first spicy comic. It is very much not safe for work. This comic is written by friend to the show, Mr. Patrick Foreman. The Contract, number 1, is a mystery thriller. The tagline is a harmless mall survey pulls Nikisha into the contract, a web of secrets, manipulation, and murder. As you can see, it's already fully funded. It's got 3 days to go. But what do I tell y'all? We can always make it go a little bit further. You know, push it way past the goalpost. Plus, this is a sale. You're getting this on sale. So you can get this before anybody else has an opportunity to. You can always read it before it goes on to his website. I believe he has a couple of different websites that he can go to. So yeah, get ahead of it. Like I said, I reiterate, this is very, very, I need to see my face, extremely not safe for work. Don't leave it around for the kids to accidentally stumble upon. You will have to explain some things. There's a very not Peter Parker scene in this comic. Consent is given, but not necessarily to the people she thinks. It's the opposite of what it. I don't know how to explain it. But it's people's naked. People's naked, and there is a mystery behind everything. It's kind of, you got to read it for yourself. I'm not going to describe it on the show because I'm going to get in trouble. So those are your, Lord, if I would actually change the tops of these things. I have got to get better at doing these. The Contract by Patrick Foreman. Kickstarter is live. It's got 3 more days to go. It is fully funded, but this is your opportunity to get your hands on it before anybody else does. So with that said, Miss Regine, I appreciate you forever and always coming on the show. Do you have anything that you want to promote or let people know where you're going to be over the next couple of months, projects you're working on?
We're definitely going to be at New York Comic-Con.
There you go. I'm going to give that to you.
We're definitely going to be at New York Comic-Con. And we're going to have some events and stuff. So definitely check us out on our website, www.womenincomicscollective.org. Sign up for our newsletter so you know what's up. Because we're going to have panels, but we're also going to do a professional brunch.
Oh.
And some other really cool stuff. We're going to have an after party and all of that nice things. All those nice things. I'm already slipping my words, y'all. Sorry about that. I might pop up to Baltimore Comic-Con. We'll see. Okay. I might. And I mean, for now, that's it.
Okay.
For now, that's it. I might have some other interesting things in the coming months, but we'll see. We'll see what it do.
Well, let me know. I'll let people know where to find you. All right. We're gonna run through it, Ms. Regine. I'm gonna put you back behind stage. If you need to head out, by all means. But I can always talk to you later. I'm just gonna hide you so I gotta do my whole fucking spiel. All right.
Go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, I like to do promotion for others around here. That's kind of my thing. So first up is Tafari TV. He does retro gaming. He is a streamer. He does his streamings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 p.m. between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. You should check him out if you are interested. I think he is currently playing Finding Nemo. Can't remember what system he's playing it on. I think he's playing it on a Nintendo or something or other. I could be wrong. But yeah, definitely check him out. And as usual, you guys know, Bird's Eye View, we are on hiatus, but when we come back in September, you can catch us on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the whole Ragtag crew. I am very sad to say that I think I deleted the Spartan run, but you can check out Black Spartan with his 2 podcasts. The first one is How the Frack We Got Here. He does those on Wednesdays. And then I believe he also has his Get Bit podcast. But due to his scheduling, I think that is changing a little bit. So definitely sign up, subscribe to his 2 channels so you can get the notifications of when they do go live. And then last but not least, we have, if I can find him, oh Lord, Mr. Navy Montel. You guys know him and love him, friend to the show and sometimes co-host. You guys can find him over on Instagram. I am blanking on the times that he goes live. I believe it is on Fridays that he goes live. with his Bordercorn convos as well. I hope he is still in here to give me a cheat sheet of when he actually does go live. Let me see if it's in. No, it's not in here. Oh, quick question from Bubba Fettuccine. Bubba Fettuccine, I love it. Will Love Dark Places have digital downloads or be available on platforms like Global Comic? Digital downloads 1,000%. If you go to her Kickstarter, when you back it, there is a digital download section. But also, if you go to her website, it is chelsea.simoneart, if I'm remembering that correctly. She actually has the first 4.5 of her chapters up on her website. I'm actually going to show that to y'all now. Give me 1 second. Let me share this tab instead. We're going to do that. Bop, bop, bop. And here you go. You can go right over to her website. It is, to say it correctly, chelsea-simone-art.com. And I will put that link in the chat for you to check it out. That way you can get a preview and see if you like what she is cooking. All right. All right, there we go. And I'll put that in here. Oop, oop, oop. Oop. Oh, hi, Regine. Bubba Fettuccine, I love your name, by the way. I do, truly. Happy to see you. Happy to have you here. Thank you for being a new subscriber as well. With that said, I will see you guys next Sunday. I am going to warn you, I'm going on vacation. I've got the end of August in my line of sight. I will see you guys for the next 2 Sundays. And then after that, you're on your own. You're going to have to figure out how to live without me all by yourselves. But I love you profusely, profoundly. With that said, I will see you guys next week. I don't have a guest lined up, so it might just be me talking about comics, gaming. I might be gaming. I do need to finish 007 First Light. So one way or the other, I will see you guys next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you, Regine, again, for being a lovely guest, as always, and being so informative and out here in these streets doing gangsta shit for comics. I love you, boo-boo. Love you guys. Have a good night. See you later. Okay, bye. Push the button. Okay, bye.